Hello, people. So, the secrets of the Gothic cathedrals, under the Christian symbolism of the Gothic stained glass windows, lie alchemical messages. Few people know that Gothic cathedrals are philosophical sanctuaries of the alchemists, who embedded ancient initiatory secrets into these gigantic books of stone. Preserving beneath the symbolism of Christian iconography the synthesized formulas of the Hermetic art, Gothic cathedrals are repositories of the knowledge of ancient cultures that mastered the secrets of the universe through magic, science, and religion. According to the alchemists, thousands of years ago, there existed a single great religion that governed the laws of nature. The law of numbers, for example, is connected with a series of mathematical and geometric relations dictated personally to humankind by God. If a temple is built according to these sacred proportions, with equilateral triangles, circles, and arches woven into the construction, it becomes a gigantic antenna receiver that captures divine power. If the secret indications of the ancient architects regarding the correct placement of stone, brick, glass, and the other building materials decorated with magical symbols such as the rose and the cross are followed, the cathedral antenna becomes an amplifier of the magnetic and electrical currents coming from the depths of the earth. The roots of this typically pagan thesis lie in geomancy, an old scientific discipline of the peoples of Northern Europe who believed that our planet is crossed by a dense network of invisible energy channels. Pagans built their monolithic temples such as Stonehenge, Avebury, and Karnak along these life-giving lines and geobiological nodes. After that, the gods descended more easily to Earth, and the mediumistic abilities of people and paranormal phenomena increased many times. The world of Hermeticism is composed of elements from Jewish Kabbalah, Egyptian magic, Celtic cults, Saxon paganism, and Christian Gnosticism, flavored with Pythagorean geometry. By combining the symbols of different religious philosophies, the alchemists created a magical alphabet understandable only to the initiated. Hermeticists communicated through these ideograms, resorting to ingenious codes and poetic synonyms, thus avoiding the risk of being exposed by the Inquisition. Dominican monks reported to the holy offices about any books containing heretical statements. Therefore, alchemists edited their texts using incomprehensible alphabets or only drawings. Leafing through, for example, Liber Mutus, the mute book, the uninitiated person sees only a series of abstract illustrations hiding complex symbolism. Similar are the messages in the bas reliefs of cathedrals, which according to alchemists contain a fourfold meaning: symbolic, esoteric, constructive, and mystical. These gigantic books of stone were built by copying the plan of the Temple of Jerusalem, constructed in the first millennium BC by King Solomon in honor of the eternal God and as a call for brotherhood among peoples. According to legends, Solomon entrusted the construction of the temple to the famous architect Hiram, a specialist in the magical meanings of numbers, and to his disciple Jax. It was Jax who looked toward the future and left to the medieval alchemists the designs for the construction of the Gothic cathedrals. The Temple of Jerusalem is the most sacred symbol of alchemical communities, and since 1700s, a stylized version of its plan has also appeared among the symbols of Freemasonry. Masonic corporations are direct heirs of Hermeticism, having adopted and preserved ancient philosophical and masonry secrets. The alchemists transmitted them to modern times through Gothic constructions. The magnificent cathedrals of Paris, Bourges, Chartres, Prague, and Milan hide countless mysteries in their stone. First of all, the Gothic style appeared suddenly on the public stage without any evolution, something unusual in the history of art considering earlier architectural styles such as the Romanesque, and this lends credibility to the hypothesis of a secret architectural technique preserved through the centuries. The new churches arose on sacred archaeological sites. The apse of the basilicas is oriented toward the southeast, so that the entering believers move toward the Orient, that is, toward Jerusalem. Among the biblical images in the bas-reliefs and stained glass windows, within episodes connected with Jesus and the Old Testament, pagan occult secrets are disguised. Beneath the statue of the Black Madonna, for example, hides the idol of veiled Isis, the goddess of the pharaohs of Egypt. What is the true meaning of the symbols woven into Gothic cathedrals? By deciphering the secret alphabet of the philosopher's stone, we see that the Tree of Eden is actually the earthly paradise or the Tree of Life from the cult of the Oak of Dodona, while the philosophical Mercury is the resurrecting divine water, nature and chaos. Animals represent chemical elements, the lion and the bull symbolize earth. The eagle symbolizes the sky, the fish symbolize water, the dragon symbolizes fire. The planets are the metals used in alchemical reactions. The fountain is the laboratory flask, the serpent is Mercury. Some of these symbols hide the secret of the union of noble metals and the transformation of base metal into gold. Here it should be clarified that alchemists did not seek only to turn ordinary metal into gold, but to transform the raw material of the human personality into the gold of an enlightened spirit. From this perspective, the ultimate goal of alchemists is not material wealth, but the elevation of the individual and the enrichment of the spirit. The rose symbolizes the Holy Grail. The seal of Solomon is the hieroglyph indicating the time necessary for preparing the philosopher's stone. And the devil with a candle on his head is not Lucifer, but the symbol of alchemical knowledge, Baphomet. On Baphomet's hands are written the Latin words, solve et coagula, dissolve and coagulate, the two fundamental chemical procedures in the transmutation of matter in alchemical laboratories. One of the most typical examples of the temples of the alchemist kings is the octagonal fortress Castel del Monte in Puglia, Italy, the seat in the 13th century of Frederick II of Hohenstaufen. Following the initiatory principles for philosophical sanctuaries, Frederick II turned to the esoteric architect Philip Caignard, who, in constructing Castel del Monte, was inspired by the plan of Solomon's temple. The castle consists of 2 concentric octagons containing 8 trapezoidal halls. oriented along the Jerusalem-Andria axis. The entrance portal leads to the Master's Chamber, a vast hall where during the solstices the leaders of the 8-world knightly orders gathered around the emperor. The castle was built upon an ancient temple from which the statue of a god with a bronze halo on his head was preserved. Inscribed in the metal of the statue was the phrase, "When the sun rises on the calends of May, my head will become golden." In 1073, a Saracen solved the enigma. On May 17, he dug at the place where the shadow of the statue's head was projected and discovered a rich treasure, which he used to build the first version of the castle, later completed by Frederick Tyle. Between the Teutonic coats of arms and the lions of the Swedish dynasty above the entrance portal is also sculpted the marble head of the unknown maestro, surrounded by rays. According to some specialists, this figure is none other than the god of the initiated Sufis, uniting the characteristics of the gods of the Jews, Christians, and Muslims. While searching for the philosopher's stone, Emperor Frederick II spent his days among sages and astrologers, magi and alchemists. On a bas-relief in one of the castle halls, the following enigmatic cryptography is carved: D8 IDs AD below CLPSHA2. According to researchers, this is the encoded chemical formula for the production of gold. Encoded alphabet of the alchemists. Alchemists protected their secret texts with a complex code of symbols. Each letter of the alphabet corresponded to a chemical element or laboratory procedure. Here are some letters deciphered by specialists. A. Gud. B. Nitric acid. C. Concentrated nitric acid. D. Remember the quantity. E. Apple vinegar. F. Gold cement. G. Moon. Silver. H. Gilded water. I. Vase. J. Golden soul. K. Boiling lava. Elf. Ash. M. Silver water. N. Observe. Silver soul. O. Sublimated divine body. B. Fluff. Body with simple nature. C. Cluff. Body with refined nature. D5. Aromatic salt. Unprocessed salt. KX. Oil. PFA. Glass vase. Q. Strong fire of the first degree. RX. Strong fire of the second degree. S. Extremely hot fire.